Hello everyone. In this video, we can see some mechanical parameters which depends on the transmission line and also different types of towers used in transmission system. The strength of the line and the safety of the line depends on some mechanical parameters. First one is tower height. Tower height depends upon the length of span. Span is the distance between two towers. With long spans, relatively few towers are required, but they must be tall and correspondingly costly. And it is not usually possible to determine the tower height or span length on the basis of construction cost. Other parameters like lightning hazards increases as height of the conductor increases. Next is conductor clearance to ground, that is the distance between the ground and the conductor. It also depends on the sag. The conductor clearance depends on the sag of the line. Usually there will be some specified distance between 6 to 12 meter depending on the voltage and nature of the country. This clearance should be such that by avoiding the sag, the conductor distance between conductor and the ground should be this much particular value. The greatest sag may occur on the hottest day of summer due to the expansion of wire. So, while considering the conductor clearance, the greatest sag should be considered. Also, there may be increase in sag due to coating of ice on the wires. Then sag and tension. Sag, we know that when a conductor is placed between two towers, the conductor will be some in the shape of a parabola. The conductor is provided with a sag so as to avoid the tension in the conductor. If it is having high tension while it is stretched tightly, there it will affect the mechanical strength of the line. So, in order to increase the mechanical strength, the conductor will somewhat sag to reduce the tension in the winding conductor. And this sag and the tension is affected by wind and also ice coating in the areas where large ice formation is there, and also it varies with temperature. So, we can see in detail how the sag and tension varies in conductors in next class. Then, for finding out the sag and tension, there will be a stringing chart which shows the relation between sag and tension with temperature. And conductor spacing. Conductor spacing is the spacing between two conductors. The spacing should be such that there should be safety against flashover when the wires are swinging in the wind. The proper spacing is a function of span length, voltage and weather condition. The use of horizontal spacing eliminates the danger caused by unequal ice loading. Small wires of light material are subjected to more swinging by the wind. So, the spacing between conductors should be more for small material, small or lightweight material, so that this while swinging with the wind, by the wind, the flashover can be avoided. Another parameter is conductor vibration. When there is wind velocity affected on the conductor, there will be a vibration called dancing, which causes up and down movement of the conductor. It is also caused by formation of ice. So, while it is moving up and down, it may cause harmful effects on the clamps or supports, such that conductor suffers breaks. It may break down due to the vibration. So, these are some factors to be considered while constructing a transmission line. Then depending on the area or condition or length of the line or voltage, we are selecting the line supports. The line support selected should have some properties. They should have high mechanical strength to withstand the weight of the conductor and also wind loads, and it should be light in weight without the loss of mechanical strength, and should be cheap in cost and economical to maintain, and should have longer life and easily accessibility of conductors for maintenance. There are different types of towers available like wooden poles, steel poles, RCC, steel towers, etc. Choice of structure depends on the line span, cross-sectional area, line voltages, cost and the local conditions, area, condition of the weather condition. Then general classification of towers are tangent towers and deviation towers. Tangent towers are used in straight runs of line up to 2 degree of line deviation. In these lines, stress is due to the weight of the line and ice and wind loads only. And base of the tower may be square or rectangular, and the suspension type insulators are used in tangent towers. We will be looking at different types of insulators in the last portions of this module. Then deviation towers are used at points where transmission line changes its direction. Tangent towers has to withstand the resultant force due to changes in tower. So, it has to withstand additional force due to change in the direction also, so that it has broader base, stronger members and costlier compared to tangent towers. Then wooden poles. Different types of poles depending on the material used. First one is wooden poles, which is used in earlier days in rural areas. They are made up of seasoned woods, and it is suitable for moderate cross-sectional area and relatively shorter spans, say up to 50 meters. And the main advantages are they are cheap, easily available and good insulating properties. They are widely used in distribution purpose in rural areas. But wooden poles generally tend to rot below the ground level. Under the ground level, it may got damaged or rot, causing foundation failure. In order to prevent this, some preservative compounds are added around the pole below the ground level. Double pole structure and single pole structures are used in wooden poles. Here figure shows single pole and double pole structure. It will have a comparatively smaller life of 20 to 25 years, and it cannot be used for higher voltages, and it will have less mechanical strength and require periodical inspection. Then steel poles. Steel poles are used for are suitable than wooden poles because it has got higher mechanical strength, longer life and permits longer spans. Such poles are used in distribution purposes in cities. These supports are galvanized or painted in order to increase the life. Then RCC poles, reinforced concrete poles, are now very popular line supports. They have greater mechanical strength, longer life and permit longer spans than steel poles. And also they give good outlook and require little maintenance and good insulating properties. This figure shows single pole and single line circuit and double line circuit of concrete poles, RCC poles. There are holes provided in order to facilitate the climbing of poles. And one main difficulty in using RCC poles is due to the weight of the poles, it is difficult to transport the poles. So, while erecting the transmission line, the poles are constructed near the site so that the transportation cost can be reduced. Now, we have steel towers. In steel towers are used at high voltages and long spans. For long distance transmission at high voltages, steel towers are used. It has got greater mechanical strength, longer life, and withstand severe climatic condition, and also used for longer spans. The risk of interrupted service due to broken or punctured insulation is considerably reduced owing to longer spans. While we are using longer spans, number of insulation is reduced and insulation failure rate also reduced. And tower footings are usually grounded by driving rods into the earth. This figure shows steel towers. This is not steel poles, it is steel towers. So, figure shows single circuit and double circuit line tower of steel, made up of steel. By using double circuit, we can make the supply continuous. Continuity of the supply can be ensured by using double circuit line. These are the main types of towers used in transmission system. Thank you.